the Oklahoma City Thunder are 1 game away from their first franchise championship since moving to OKC, Kwab. What a game from J-Dub. What a game from SGA. Classic game from J-Dub. Holy crap.
I mean that's a I don't know about classic. Classic is
He
like
had
saying
40
like
points.
classic is like
Classic is like 60 from Jordan against Boston.
Classic. The phrasing is like classic game by J-Dub. It's like saying like that's what he's been doing this consistently. Like, oh, it's like a classic game.
No, that's like vintage. Vintage.
Okay, okay. Then classic game by J-Dub.
I mean, the most important game of his career, the most important performance of his career by far.
So far, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to say about J-Dub, you can say the opposite about somebody else in this game. Let's get to the box score. The Thunder beat the Pacers 120-109. J-Dub with 40 and 6, SGA 31 and 10, no biggie. Andrew Wiggins 14 and 5 off the bench for the Pacers. Tyrese Haliburton is on a milk carton because he's missing. Pascal Siakam 28 6 and 5, and TJ McConnell 18 4 and 4, single-handedly trying to bring the Pacers back from a double-digit deficit. They cut the lead to 2, Kwab, off the backs of TJ McConnell, a little bit of Obi Toppin, and Pascal Siakam.
I was ready for a crazy finish. I was like, yes, it might happen again. They're about to do it again, man.
I thought the same exact thing, man. I did not think that I wouldn't say I didn't think the Thunder were going to win the game, but I didn't think it would be in the runaway fashion, I guess you can say. I didn't think that Rick Carlisle would be making substitutions with 2 minutes left to go in the game, conceding the game. I'll just say that. I thought it'd be a closer game in the fourth quarter, but in a game where I just thought the Thunder dominated for the most part, with the exception of mid-third, late third, early fourth there. The Thunder were the better team, continuing to pick on Miles Turner in the pick and roll until Carlisle realized I can't continue to bring him up there, so they started dropping him, which I thought the Pacers started playing better defense there, but the Thunder defense set the tone again. Just like they did in the fourth quarter of Game 4. They did the same thing in Game 5 before the whole game. And it got to the point where the Pacers just didn't even bother. It looked like they didn't even bother trying to dribble penetrate. They were just making long passes on the perimeter. Nobody can get by their guy. Again, with the Thunder, they are at their best when they turn you over and they score the basketball, and they did a lot of that today. So shout out to the Thunder for doing that, because that's how they beat you. That's what makes them so dominant, and today was that version. SGA, I thought, had a fantastic game. Went back to Game 2 SGA, where he was making the right passes. He was downhill. He was getting to the hoop. He was finishing. He was making good decisions. He wasn't forcing much at all. And then, like we said before, J-Dub with the best game of his career, in my opinion, considering the stakes, a 40-burger. Just overall, I thought this was the best energy we've seen from OKC throughout the whole series. This was the best complete defensive game we saw, even though there were lapses in the third quarter. Just what we expected from OKC in Game 5 at home.
Yeah, we expected the Thunder to not pull off, but to win this game, just because they play better at home. Obviously, watching how aggressive J-Dub was in this game, though, was like, that was the key difference to me. I think you can see he kind of found something to the effect of like how he should attack compared to how the series started and then the past couple of games, because he's been kind of on go, like even if he's bringing up the ball, it's not really, a lot of times he's not looking so much for like other people. They set an early screen, even if it's in the backcourt or like above the 3-point line, and he's driving, he's attacking, he's looking for a shot. 40 points is just, it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And the point you made, one of the key things about this game, that when it felt like, oh snap, the Pacers are about to make another comeback, and we might see another Haliburton like game winner, was the Thunder defense. It turned up again. It's the same thing previous game. I know a lot of the Pacers fans in the comments were saying that we're talking about the refs, we're saying that, first of all, Josh is not disingenuous. I want to get that out the way. I saw that comment. It got me annoyed.
I didn't see that.
Somebody was like, "Oh, you're being disingenuous about the Pacers," because I feel they think you keep siding with the Thunder, like overly with the Thunder, even though
I keep siding with the Thunder over the Pacers.
Even though there's footage, You go back and type in this site on this page and look up Pacers. You hear Josh bigging up the Pacers all season.
I didn't see that comment.
I
Here's what
I
I'll
s-
say.
I, s- I saw it because
For the
I
people
see.
who are subscribed to us or the people who are new, the Thunder won today. We're gonna give the Thunder credit. Like that's what we do. I mean, if you just notice, if you just go back to all of our game reactions, we like to give credit to the team that won.
We
Period.
do. We do.
Period. And I'm a Knicks
We
fan.
do.
Whenever the Pacers beating the crap out of the Knicks, I give credit to the Pacers because they deserve credit. That's just how we are. I'm an NBA fan. I'm a basketball fan. We've played basketball our whole lives.
A whole
No
lot.
one
Yeah.
likes to win a game or to accomplish something, and then you hear people say, "Well, this is what the rest." No, like at the end of the day, like don't get me wrong. I'll be honest with you. Today, I thought the OKC maybe had a little bit of a friendly whistle, but they
Yeah.
still came out and played fantastic defense and did things on the offensive end and defensive end that stifled the Pacers. Like I'm gonna give credit to OKC. If the
Yeah.
Pacers won today, I'm gonna give credit to the Pacers. That's just the way this channel is.
That's how it
Yeah.
works. That's how it works.
Yeah, we
Unless
just
it's
give credit
unless
to
it's
whoever
like
wins.
unless it's like some outlandish, like ridiculous something that happens that
Yeah.
but we'll still speak on it. But I know a lot of people were talking about all the refs last game. Last game, the one thing, the reason the Thunder won the last game was because of their defense. You saw
Yeah.
it. They were able to close out that game because of their defense. And then they started out this game with the same intensity with their defense, which was kind of expected because how they play at home. It felt like the Pacers were playing sloppy and rushed to start the game. Like it just didn't look like the Pacers team. And I get it. I know a lot of times when I talk about the Pacers, I'm like, they need to start the right way. They need to play the right way. I think I just have to come to terms with that. You're just a third quarter team. You're just a team that like they figure it out and then they adjust and they move on because the way they started this game, it was looking like it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Just a lot of turnovers. Just really they looked in disarray. I know Tyrese Haliburton got injured early, but he looked rough throughout the course of the game, even before the injury. They just didn't look like that well-oiled machine that the Pacers offense is.
Yeah, I mean, he was off ball a lot, and they were face guarding him with Dort or Caruso.
Yeah.
And then when he got the ball, whenever they would run a pick and roll, they have the ability to switch. This is what makes the Thunder so great at defense. They can switch, and then what they would do if Hartenstein was the guy they were setting the screen on, they would trap with Hartenstein.
Yep.
And then they were very quick to send help to the first pass, so Haliburton didn't have that first pass available, and it caused either A, turnover, or B, Haliburton would have to fight to get out of a double or a trap, and by the time he did that and passed the ball out, the Thunder could reset their defense. So it's good game planning, but it's also good roster construction, right? That's something the Knicks couldn't do. Like you can't switch Karl Anthony Towns onto Tyrese Haliburton or trap. The Knicks just don't have the personnel to do that.
You don't have the personnel,
but the Thunder do.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just a scheme that Dagnall put up. Like we're gonna face guard him. If he has the ball, we're gonna have Dort or Caruso on him at all times. We're gonna switch perimeter defenders because we can do that. And if it's a big man, we're gonna trap. And it's just a fantastic game plan. And he only had, I think, 5 or 6 shots going into the fourth quarter. And what I like about the Pacers is that if Tyrese Haliburton, is not involved or like he can't touch the ball, the Pacers like, all right, we got this anyway. That's like one of my favorite things about them. It's like they're not too reliant on their superstar or their star. They can keep it going. Pascal Siakam had a fantastic game, and TJ McConnell just took it upon himself to take over the whole freaking third quarter. I actually don't even know why Carlisle took him out. If I'm being honest with you, I understand that people have to rest.
Kept him in there.
I get that people have to rest, so maybe you take him out for a minute or two. But him and Siakam pretty much carried you in the third quarter. Obi had a nice third quarter too. Why are you taking him out? I understand putting Haliburton back in. Yeah, you put Holly back in, but you find a way to keep TJ McConnell back in the game. And I get that you want Nembhard in there. You want Nesmith in there because they're defenders. And at the end of the day, I think that's what you've won with throughout the whole season. But like McConnell brought you back. You ride the hot hand. There was no reason to really take him out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. I want to go back to the point you made about when you're talking about the Pacers. You like the fact that when Haliburton, it's not like when he's getting face guarded and he's not the focus. You like the fact that they can still go like Nembhard and they can still go in another direction and it works out for them.
They were going through Siakam in the post.
Yeah, no, me personally, I hate it. I feel like the Pacers are at their best when Haliburton is at his best. It's always the case to me. That's always been. And hate. Let me go back. Hate is such a strong word. I don't like. I prefer it. obviously anybody would,
Well, I
but
prefer it too, but I'm just saying
to
it's a strength that if, like, for instance, the Knicks, if you take away Jalen Brunson, that's it. It's a wrap.
that's it. Yeah, it's a strength because the
Yeah.
Pacers are very very deep. So it's like so it's like when you take away Haliburton, they still have other pieces that can go get it. Yep, I completely agree with you with that. My whole thing has always been, especially this finals, has been even not the finals, the playoffs. If Haliburton is not like what's the right word I'm even looking for, if he's not
Aggressive?
aggressive, and
Yeah.
he's not the main focus. It the team they can still win, but it's not to me. It doesn't they don't look as dominant as as they do when he is like being the engine of the team.
Yeah.
But back to TJ McConnell basically bringing the team back and then being subbed out, which, like you said, it makes sense if he's tired, you gotta get him out. But getting back in the game, TJ McConnell is the most successful part of the process, and that's all I'm gonna
He
say.
is. He
TJ
is.
McConnell.
It's not
That's my.
Embiid. It's not Fitzsimmons. It's not Michael Carter
It's,
Williams.
it's TJ McConnell. It's
It's not
TJ, and that's
Markel
all.
Fultz.
TJ McConnell is the most successful story
And he's not
of the
even wearing a
process.
76ers jersey
And he's not even
anymore.
wearing a 76. Like, you understand that TJ McConnell transferring from Duquesne to Arizona. If you were to look up who was on his team out of Arizona, you'd be like, nah, this guy's not making the league.
Aaron
Like
Gordon. Aaron Gordon was on the team.
Aaron Gordon,
Yeah. I watched that team live in Vegas.
like they had a bunch of McDonald's all like Brandon Ashley,
Yeah.
Kalen Tarshit, like bunch of random who some of them haven't even gotten a look in the league, right? And TJ McConnell has been having amazing moments throughout this course of this finals, like record-setting moments, with like the 5 steals moment, and even this game where it felt like, yo, the Pacers might come back and steal this game again because of him. Like I said, they got contributions from him. Pascal always been consistent, played a great game. Obi Toppin off the bench also played a great game. It felt like they just didn't get enough from Nemhart, didn't get enough from
Neesmith, yeah.
Neesmith, and of course Halliburton being hurt. So like
Yeah.
this is what happened. But still, to be able to cut it to 2 is still impressive.
It's still impressive because I thought the OKC dominated that whole game. Even up until that third quarter, it was the big run by TJ McConnell and Siakam and a little bit of Obi there. But I mean, they set the tone, man. 22 to 11 turnovers. Like
It's
that
crazy.
in itself, you double them up on turnovers, you get them 20 plus turnovers. This is a team that doesn't turn the ball over that much or too much in the Indiana Pacers, with a point guard who doesn't turn the ball over too much in Tyrese Haliburton. And you're able to like not just turn them over. Like there's a difference between like a dead ball turnover where the ball goes out of bounds, or like an offensive foul. Like you're turning them over like and immediately making them pay on the other end.
Yeah.
And there are times where I think the Pacers have played actually pretty good transition defense with these turnovers, but you just can't turn the ball over 22 times and expect to win a basketball game. And that
Especially against that team,
right.
Against that team, that's their MO. Like
Yeah.
they'll turn you over, they'll run the ball down and get easy buckets. And then when the game got close, you saw J Dub stepping up, you saw Shai stepping up and closing out the game. So it's a great victory by them. Now moving forward, do you think the Pacers win in Indiana, or do you think the Thunder close out the game? I'll close out the series.
This series is going exactly how I thought it'd go, Kwab. I said Thunder in 7, so I think
You said 7
in Game 6. I mean, the Pacers in the 2 games in Indiana looked like the better team for most of those 2 games.
Yep.
It's crazy how home court just like basketball out of all sports, it's like so emotionally driven. Like I think momentum is like there are people who don't think momentum's a real thing. I do. I think that the way you're feeling on a court, your confidence, just everything that the combination of just your mood, like everything, like is magnified when you're playing basketball. And I think
sorry to
I
cut
don't
you
think
off.
it's a coincidence that a team like OKC so dominant at home and a team like Indiana so dominant at home. Like these things are real. But I also think the Pacers, they're better than what they showed today. I think Tyrese Haliburton, if he's healthy, let's also mention that because he did go back to the locker room. So to be fair to him, he did play 30 plus minutes. So he played 34 minutes, but he did go back to the locker room with like a calf injury, right? Is that what it was? I had the TV on
calf
mute. So,
tightness, I think it was.
yeah, so he had calf tightness. So you're gonna get more than 4 points from Tyrese. Like I would bet my life on that. Tyrese is not having another 4 point game. So you're gonna have a better Tyrese. Your role players play better. I think next game, instead of having Miles Turner come up on the pick and roll, I think they're gonna have him exclusively in drop. Wouldn't surprise me if they go a little bit zone. I think Carlisle has some adjustments up his sleeve, and then with a better Tyrese Haliburton getting him the basketball, I think the Pacers win Game 6. What do you think?
Um, to your point about home court advantage, sorry, I was cutting you off earlier because
Yeah,
I wanted to add to the point you were making. Um, it really does like change the moment. Like the momentum does feel different when you're at home because
it's crazy.
I feel like if the run TJ McConnell was on, if that was happening in Indiana, it would be like every point would feel like 5 points. It just feels more like
Yeah.
when you're home, and it kind of lifts the team spirit and it makes a difference. So especially when they cut it to 2, like if that was in Indiana, the crowd would have been going nuts.
Yeah, and
And
there's some arenas too where it's like I know the Gardens. I know I always bring it back to the Knicks guys. I'm sorry, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm gonna do it. But like at the Garden, like we panic. Like Knicks fans panic. It's like, oh my
yep,
god.
it
Like
gets
they
it gets
cut it.
eerily quiet.
Yeah,
It
it's like,
gets
oh,
like
here we go
shaky.
again.
You
Yeah,
could
but
feel the
that's
vibes. Yep.
real shit, bro. Like that's real
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
real stuff. I totally believe in that. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Those make a difference. So I had a Thunder winning in 6.
Yeah.
I wanted to go 7. I really want
Oh,
this
as a
series to go
basketball fan,
7.
I wanted to go 7 too.
I want this
Yeah.
to go 7. I
Yeah.
really wanted to go 7. A lot of this to me it falls on, like you said, is how healthy is Tyrese
Mhm.
going into Game 6, because I think to me he's always going to be the difference. Like if he's healthy, I feel like like you said, he's not going to come out and have like a subpar game.
Yeah.
Especially no one's do or die. So if he's healthy, if he's right mindset, I feel like the Pacers should be able to win the game, but that's gonna be the asterisk, the little factor going into that game. Like I said, I wanted to go 7. I want a Game 7 just because this series to me has been fantastic. We both said we thought this wasn't gonna be a quick series. A lot of people were saying, oh, it's gonna be Thunder in 4 or 5. Like you're severely underestimating how good the Pacers are.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And to boot, like I know the Pacers fans feel like they should have been up. They should have won the last game. So
It evened out to me. I
yeah,
mean, Pacers shouldn't have won Game 1. Same thing.
no, Pacers should have won Game 1. I'm not. Look, you can be like, oh, they should. If once is a coincidence, twice, 3 times, 4. Like, no, this is what they do. So like,
4 times this post. All right, that's fine. Fair.
That's who they are. They should have won Game 1. Like that's what.
You're right.
And you know what? If this game,
well, then the Thunder should have won Game 4 because the Thunder have done that multiple times during the regular season too. We've
not like that.
Well, in Game 4, yeah. Yeah, we watched the Thunder pull off. They did the same thing against Denver. They came back in the fourth quarter. They haven't done comebacks like the Pacers have done in Game 1.
Yeah, I'm only
saying what happened in Game 4 with the Pacers blowing a fourth quarter lead. The Thunder have done that multiple times in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they did it against Memphis.
They did,
and they did it against Denver.
Yeah, when they come back and then push. But the difference,
they've done it all season too.
Yeah, they have. The difference is that they come back and then they push the lead to like 15 or
you don't even notice that it was a comeback. It's like, oh yeah, down 18. There was a game we were gonna recap like Thunder Heat one time, like back
and we
in,
stopped.
January.
We stopped.
Yeah, it was like the Thunder they outscored the Heat by like 36 points. It was like some ridiculous
in the fourth. Yeah,
and
the difference is the Pacers just toy with you and like, oh man, you're up by 15. Oh great, we'll see you in when there's 1 second left.
Yeah. Right. No, but I fully expect the Pacers to win Game 6. Like I said, they're better at home, and the Pacers are good, man. Like I picked the Thunder in 7 because I do think the Thunder are the better team, but also they have home court, and I picked 7 because the Pacers are good, though. Like you know what I mean? Like this was not going to be a quick series by any means, and I don't expect this to be a quick series. I expect the Pacers to win Game 6. I'm going that far.
Oh, damn. Okay. Stamp it.
All right, you stamp it. Well, that's going to do it for our recap. The OKC Thunder are 1 game away from being NBA champions. If you want to follow us everywhere you can at the Dime NBA, all social medias, I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab, a.k.a. Yes. We'll see you next time for another Katie's getting traded soon, by the way. We'll probably see you for that. But until that happens, we'll see you for another episode of Dime. Peace.